So what happened in this case, just the action of one enzyme, I shall present here, one enzyme which is called decarboxylase. Decarboxylase works on this. Decarboxylase means which removes carbon dioxide from this. So it removes basically it removes one of the carbon dioxide from here. Interested to present you that there are certain prosthetic groups attached to the protein that we commonly call catalysts, biocatalysts. So these are normally called enzymes. So in biochemistry terminology, these are enzymes which are basically biocatalysts. So biocatalysts, how they are formed, are very interesting in structure. I shall present just a very small part of these molecules. Let's say if I introduce a few of them, how different reactions are possible. Like this is a, let's say, adenosine diphosphate, which is commonly called adenosine pyrophosphate. If you remember what stands for PP, you have seen this in terpenoids as well. Gitanyl pyrophosphate, oxygen attached with two phosphate units. This is the one of the phosphate unit I have produced here. And no doubt it doesn't exist in this form. It produces H positive ion. H positive ion generate a negative charge on oxygen, negative charge on oxygen. This is how it exists normally. But when we have isolated this, so it shall be present and not in salt form, but in this form, in fact, protonated form. This is basically what is you are remembering adenosine pyrophosphate. Adenosine, this is the commonly called adenine. This is called adenine. This is the structure of adenine, commonly called purines. Purines are of two kinds, adenine and thymine. They are basically making a bond with each other. But adenine and guanine, they are this type of nucleus which we call pyrimidines. So this is purines and pyrimidines you have come across. This is called purine. This is a purine ring, two heterocyclic. One is dinitrogen 5-member ring, one is 6-member dinitrogen ring fused with each other. This is called purine ring. Guanine and adenine have this type of nucleus. Cytosine, thymine, and uracil, they have only 6-member ring. No 5-member ring is fused with them. So anyhow, you are familiar with adenine. This is the adenine structure. This nucleus is adenine. This nucleus is adenine nucleus. When adenine is attached with a ribose sugar, look at here, this is a ribose sugar, right? This is the ribose sugar in fact. So when a ribose sugar is attached, we have a OH here. So this OH is when reacted with ATP molecule, which converts into AMP and transfer to phosphate units. It transfers to phosphate units, very similar to you have coming geranyl alcohol, reacts with ATP molecule to form AMP and diphosphorylated at this position. So this is the how the adenine combined with ribose sugar, and then ribose sugar undergo reaction with ATP to form a pyrophosphate. This is commonly called adenosine. Keeping in mind, when this nucleus is only present, this nucleus is present only, this is called adenine. When adenine reacts with a ribose sugar, when this PP is H, so this is called adenosine. Adenine name changes to adenosine when this nitrogen of the adenine combines with ribose sugar. It is called adenosine, not adenine. And when this OH is replaced by hydrogen is replaced by this pyrophosphate unit from ATP, this is called adenosine pyrophosphate. I hope it shall be clear. This is the adenosine pyrophosphate. Now look at this. This carbon is a tetrahedral carbon. And one of the amino acid, look at this. This is an amino acid. This is how the amino acid normally exists. Carboxylic acid normally produce H positive ion, which is present in the form of this one because it is soluble in water. Amino acids are soluble in water. Why? Because they produce H positive ion. Once they produce, they are existing in these anion states. So this oxygen, the carboxylic acid is present in the form of carboxylate, meaning it produces H positive ion. Now, this is called methionine, S-methionine, S amino acid of methionine. So it is basically natural product, S-methionine, an amino acid. Amino acid, this amino acid have a CH2 attached with sulfur. So this is the sulfur. This sulfur, if you remember, is a very, very good nucleophile. What happened? This group is a good leaving group. It leaves and sulfur donates electron pair to this carbon. This is a simple SN2 mechanism. Simple SN2. A primary carbon, a good leaving group, a very good nucleophile approaching here. So the S-methionine have sulfur present. So it acts as a very strong nucleophile, replace this group from here, generates this bond. But as a result, sulfur carries a positive charge. Once this is formed, you see this nucleus that we already have, this one I presented in black color, this is called adenosine, right? Adenosine. Now pyrophosphate unit has been replaced by this entity. Now sulfur is positively charged. So if sulfur cleave this bond, fine, it can cleave this. If it cleaves this bond, then this reaction shall be in reverted back equilibrium, mean product is decomposing back to reactant. If it cleave this bond, then this positive charge shall not be stabilized. So what is happening normally is this sulfur with positive charge stabilizes this positive charge by taking this electron pair off from methyl. Now here this methyl is an equivalent like in our laboratory iodomethane. Iodomethane we normally use to methylate. So this is a very, very good compound that this component, this is abbreviated as SAM. SAM is the abbreviation of S stands for absolute configuration of this amino acid. You see this amino acid is S amino acid. So this is S-adenosyl methionine. This is methionine, but adenosyl. So adenosyl group is attached to what position? To sulfur. This group is adenosyl. No, it is adenosine. So when we are taking this as a substituent, it shall be called as adenosyl, right? So this is adenosyl. This whole group up till here. This is the complete adenosyl. This is adenosyl and this group is methionine, S-methionine. So this group, this is called SAM, S, A and M. Adenosyl and methionine stands for A and M. Capital S stands for basically the S absolute configuration. So this is commonly called SAM. SAM is a in our cells, it acts as a methylating agent. Like this role is played by iodomethane in our laboratories. Let's say if we have a nitrogen amine present in a molecule, in a natural product, how we calculate this, how many, what is the position of nitrogen? Nitrogen is a primary amine, it is a secondary amine, or it is a tertiary amine. If it is soluble in water, most likely this is tertiary amine because it carries a positive charge, polar. But if it is primary, secondary, or tertiary, how we come to know? This is how we react this with iodomethane. If it is primary amine, it shall consume three equivalent of iodomethane and shall form a salt that we call ammonium salt. So when we have a nitrogen, let's say if I just escape for a while and share a screen, control. Let's say we are having a primary amine like this amino acid is having, right? This amino acid is we are having. So when we react this with iodomethane, so first it shall react with one iodomethane to form one hydrogen shall be replaced by methyl. Then second hydrogen shall be replaced by methyl. Then again it has a non-bonding electron pair. Primary amine converts into secondary amine, then secondary amine converts into tertiary amine. And this tertiary amine further reacts with another equivalent of iodomethane to convert into trimethyl group shall be attached with this bearing nitrogen shall bear a positive charge. So it shall be formed ammonium salt. So 3-methyl shall be connected with primary amine. So if a molecule in the natural product, let's say one nitrogen is present, what is the fate of this? So if it reacts only with 3 equivalent of iodomethane, we call this is primary amine group present in the natural product. But if let's say it is secondary amine, let's say if I convert this into this one, no, it is a secondary amine. If it is a secondary amine, so only one hydrogen is replaceable. So one iodomethane shall convert this into tertiary into quaternary ammonium salt. So two equivalents shall be required. Let's say if I convert this into a tertiary amine, now this is a tertiary amine. Now it shall only react with one equivalent of iodomethane to convert into ammonium salt. This is how we can perform such reaction. So if we have a nitrogen in different form, we can get that assembled and we can get the information done. A primary, if 3 equivalents of iodomethane are used against a natural product, so it means it is having a primary aminic group NH2. But if it is reacting with 2 equivalents, so we shall say it is in secondary aminic group present. But if it is reacting with only one equivalent of iodomethane, so it means it is present in the form of quaternary ammonium salt. If it doesn't react with iodomethane, it means this is present already in ammonium salt form. I hope it shall be clear to everyone. So this is what I wanted to present. So that is basically the what I presented in this case here, right? So this is what I have presented, that this molecule is called SAM. The iodomethane is a reagent that is a methylating agent. It methylates normally nitrogen if nitrogen is present. Very fast reaction rate with methyl if nitrogen is present. Why? Because nitrogen contains only one lone pair, right? There is no competition. Oxygens can also be proton methylated, but very slowly. They had a very slow reaction rate. That's why, and they need heating. Let's say if you have an alcohol, it may also be methylated if you are reacting with iodomethane, right? But it has an oxygen has 2 lone pairs, so it is not a strong base like nitrogen is a strong base. It is a better nucleophile rather oxygen and anything else. So I hope this shall be clear. This SAM that I have presented here, SAM stands for S-adenosyl methionine. This is adenosyl. This is S-methionine. So this is S-adenosylmethionine, commonly abbreviated as SAM. SAM is the methylating agent in cells. When we are working in the laboratory, we use iodomethane. It is a methylating agent. But when we do the same reaction in the living cells, they also methylate. They also convert carboxylic acids into ester. Let's say if we are having this adenosylmethionine, so this sulfur shall take this electron pair off to stabilize positive charge on it, and this methyl shall be lost in the form of CH3 plus. At the same time, some nucleophile may approach this. What could be that? It may be nitrogen, it may be oxygen, phenolic, etc. So this is if this methyl shall be transferred from SAM to something else. This is why it is called a methylating agent. SAM. SAM is a methylating agent. It transfers methyl to the other entities. If nitrogen is present, if oxygen is present in the form of alcohol or in the form of phenols, so they are being methylated by these enzymes. So SAM is a target. This is a prosthetic group. You see, I have presented the prosthetic group. No doubt, it is also attached with the. Some of the amines. Let's say some. This is, if you remember, I call enzymes. Enzymes are normally composed of protein. These proteins are connected with a prosthetic group. This is the prosthetic group. This is the SAM. Now, this nitrogen is free for this amino acid. It can combine with a variety of amino acids. So SAM, this is the basically one of the all protein part of one plant shall be different from the other. The SAM have this nitrogen free. This is the amino acid. This amino acid is methionine. Its nitrogen is free. This nitrogen can couple with the carboxylic of another amino acid. It shall polymerize. What we call nitrogen carbonyl bond, a peptide bond. In fact, this is an acid-amide bond. So acid-amide linkage shall take place. The carbonyl of an amino acid shall react with this. If NH2 is free, it shall react with another carboxylic acid, and this polymeric type structures are possible. How they get combined, in what sequence, it depends upon the plants, its DNA structure. So what kind of protein they are synthesizing? That protein part is attached with this nitrogen. So this prosthetic group is commonly called SAM. And SAM is a methylating agent. This is, you can observe how this SAM works. All right. This is the prosthetic group present in SAM, which is a methylating agent. How it transfers methyl? Because this methyl which it transfers is attached to sulfur, which is positive, which are electron deficient. All right. I hope it shall be visible to you. All right. And pyridoxal phosphate, pyridoxal amine. Basically, if I present here, this is pyridoxal phosphate, and pyridoxal, basically this is a vitamin B complex. It is included in vitamin B complex. This is a vitamin, in fact. But I'm just showing this pyridoxal phosphate. What is the role of? In pyridoxal, we have a OH here. This is pyridoxal phosphate. This phosphate unit is combined here to make it phosphate. This is pyridoxal phosphate. This pyridoxal nucleus, this is basically very important vitamin B. I shall, when you shall see vitamin, so I shall introduce this vitamin B there, inshallah. So this vitamin B part is basically, this is connected with phosphate. This phosphate can be further attached with a variety of different amino acids in a different sequence. Mean this phosphate may be attached, or this OH may be attached with the nucleus with the amino acids to generate a long chain proteins. So anyhow, this is the prosthetic group in some enzyme. we call decarboxylase. Such entities will remove carbon dioxide. It also has a mechanism in which this carbonyl aldehyde and this nitrogen play a very vital role. The amino acids nitrogen, the amino group of an amino acid reacts with this aldehyde. If you remember, when a primary amine reacts with an aldehyde, it forms what? It forms imines. It forms carbon nitrogen double bond. So let's say any amino acid, this is a methionine amino acid. If it is going to react, this nitrogen shall react with this. So we shall get this nitrogen positive, which are one hydrogen shall be lost from here, which shall protonate this oxygen. As a result, a water molecule shall leave and we shall get carbon nitrogen double bond. So when carbon nitrogen double bond is formed, this is called Schiff base. This functional group is called imine, and this imine is also called Schiff base. If you remember why Schiff base, Schiff is the name of scientists who first synthesized this functional group. That's why they are also referred as Schiff base. SCHIFF. This is the name of a French scientist, Schiff. So Schiff bases they are also called, but chemically they are containing a carbon nitrogen double bond that we commonly refer as imines. IMINE. Imine. Imine functional group. So in that case, basically it removes carbon dioxide. How it removes carbon dioxide? This is called decarboxylase enzyme. So it has a very important role. In next lecture, I shall present the role of this pyridoxal phosphate in generating, in removing carbon dioxide from an entity. So I shall present this pyridoxal phosphate and which leads to the decarboxylation of an amino acid. That is, from one amino acid, it removes carboxylic group. So I shall present this with the help of chemical drawings to you, that how pyridoxal phosphate used to generate, to remove carbon dioxide from it. This is a decarboxylase. You are already familiar with a few terms, NADPH and NADH, if you remember. In biochemistry, you have come across these functional groups. What these are? What is NADH and what is NADPH? There is just a difference of one phosphate unit. In NADPH, you have two phosphate units. In NADH, you have only one phosphate unit, right? So they are combined with each other and they results in the formation of some very interesting features that we use for as a reducing agent. That is a strong reducing agent, in fact. Decarboxylase, how carbon dioxide is removed by the enzyme. I shall present this with the help of mechanism. This part of the molecule which doesn't take part in reaction, that is proteinic part, that of enzyme, but the reaction which participates is basically the prosthetic group present in it, non-proteinic part. This is a non-proteinic part present in such enzyme, commonly called pyridoxal phosphate. How this prosthetic group undergoes such reaction, how it undergoes, I shall present that in next lecture. And how SAM, you have seen this is a SAM, S-adenosyl methionine. It is a good methylating agent. How methylation takes place in natural products, it is the SAM which performs this. Similarly, some of the enzymes we call reductase mean which reduces the other. There are various ways of reduction. If oxygen is removed from something, it is also reduction. So one of the reductase is NADPH or NADH. Both of them reduces a carbonyl by transferring a hydride. Mean they are just like sodium borohydride or lithium aluminum hydride that we use in the laboratory. They are performing the same reaction. They are transferring the hydride. Sodium borohydride we use or lithium aluminum hydride we use in our laboratory to transfer a hydride to aldehyde or a ketone. If you have an aldehyde or a ketone functional group, so NADPH or NADP, they transfer hydride and reduces them by transfer of hydrogen, hydride. This is what is NADPH is performing. They are just equal to sodium borohydride or lithium aluminum hydride that we are using in laboratory. But they are combined with the proteinic part, mean they are enzyme. This is the difference how they perform this. So anyhow, in next lecture, I shall focus on some other mechanism. Today I have just focused on one mechanism, how SAM works. This is the methylating agent. Pyridoxal phosphate is a decarboxylating agent. How it decarboxylate, we shall see in next lecture its mechanism. I shall also present the mechanism of NADPH or FADP, if you remember, flavulent adenosine diphosphate. So that is also a hydride transferring. So FADP or NADP, they are reducing agents in living cells. Reagents that we are using in laboratory are different. How the cells are performing the same reaction, how they transfer hydride, they have NADP, NADPH, and they are having FADP and FADPH. You have come across these already in Krebs cycle and glycolysis, reducing agent. When pyruvic acid is formed, so when pyruvic acid is formed, so if there is pyruvate, it enters the pyruvate cycle. But what happens there? NADP reduces this, converts that into lactic acid because oxygen is not available. So which can enter, so that it can enter electron transport chain system. So pyruvic acid is reduced to lactic acid, which called the muscle fatigue, if you remember. So this is you have already come across in the biochemistry already, but I shall focus a little on that in next lecture, how different prosthetic group present in an enzyme basically perform such reaction. One I unveiled today, that is the SAM, how it works it as a methylating agent. Similarly, pyridoxal phosphate action and NADP and FADP, etc. That shall be discussed in next lecture, inshallah. So the whole enzymes perform such reactions that we normally do in the laboratory. So session is open if you have any question.